In the world today, there are societies that may have separate cultures, customs, or even traditions. However, in the means of economic systems, there are many countries that share the same economic government.
There are three economic systems that are commonly practiced in the societies around the world. These systems are classified as capitalist, or the free enterprise system, socialist, and communist. Each classification upholds certain outlines of how government or society within government should look like.
For example, in the common practice of a capitalist government, there is no true existence of government interference within a privately owned business. In fact, the capitalist system earns revenue within their society solely on private ownership. Capitalism originally began after the domination of the Western world broke up feudalism during the 16th century. Many had created adaptations connected to the ideas of capitalism within feudalism. However, it wasn't until the 16th century and the start of the 18th century of England that cultures around the world were starting factors of production within creating their own private ownership organizations. Most studies of capitalism were attained by Adam Smith, creating the turning point of capitalism through occurrence of World War I. In connection, there are several countries that upheld the ideals of capitalism. They are defined as the United States, Australia, South Korea, and Hong Kong.
In a socialistic practice, the theory obtains general ideas pulled from capitalism. However, revenue is not dependent on private ownership. Rather, the government has sole control on all factors of production within business while giving some freedom within the organized society. Capitalism only contributes to certain freedoms given the society of a socialistic government. Furthermore, socialism originally came to be when the first socialist known in history, Francis Naoul Babeuf, created the ideal of equality as well as the erasement of private property. However, the idea first popularized in the late 1700s when the Industrial Revolution occurred. A concept pulled from revolution was the industrialization was the cause of the rich to be too powerful and the poor to remain poor. Many were seeking equality in society. Therefore, the theory of socialism rose in organized societies such as Brook Farm and New Harmony. It wasn't until the takeover of Vladimir Lenin when the theory became a reality, causing the creation of revolutionary socialism, a step to communism. Then in post-World War I, there was an imminent rise in democratic socialism. By extension, the countries today that study said system are Armenia, Germany, Denmark, and Finland.
Communism, connected to a stronger form of socialism, is defined as a governmental system that controls all political, social, and economic properties within a society, meaning that factors of production, land, or capital, common ownership, and power is primarily controlled by the government. The implementation of communism first sprouted when Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels created the theory of divine communism by publishing the Communist Manifesto in 1848. Then in the late 19th century, the communist philosophy began to rise in Russia, when in the year 1917 a global revolution influenced countries such as China, Korea, and Cuba. In extension, there are a total of 3 events that caused major influence in the slight popularity of communism. The events being Lenin's October Revolution, the Cold War, which created a one-side ideology for communism, and the symbolic fall of the Berlin Wall. As the societies today, there are countries such as Russia, Vietnam, North Korea, and Laos who now live in the traditional communist system.
When analyzing each of the economic systems, one can contextualize a few advantages and disadvantages that come to be in each system. For example, capitalism does have the advantages of one earning their own profit whilst not having to share the revenue. However, a disadvantage in capitalism would be the factor of not being able to earn enough revenue efficiently or losing revenue by not earning the said revenue.
As for both socialism and communism, the similar ideal systems share the same advantages and disadvantages. An advantage to a socialism is that equality is given by governmental help, whereas the advantage for communism is that people within the society are given proper health care at a low cost. That stating, a disadvantage for both of the systems will be the overpower of the government, as well as individuals within the society not being able to receive power revenue and having to share.
capitalism, it encourages you to make your own decisions, so I think it's really good and you get to have your freedom. Socialism, I don't really have an opinion, but it seems pretty okay. And communism, it's pretty terrible. You don't really have freedom to do anything. You can't make your own decisions, and you're very limited on your resources.
They've collapsed because of socialism, maybe just the way they went about it. I'm not sure if it has to be a dictatorship, for them to stay purely socialist, or how those socialist countries work. But I mean, I'm not for giving everything to people, but I'm not against it either. I think there needs to be, especially when you have a powerful, rich class that has everything their way, the people that are struggling need to be provided.
It has too much power. The government has too much power over the people. Capitalism, it's good. It has like a positive effect. There's like somewhat government power, but it doesn't control you. Socialism, it's neutral. It's alright.